Hi, I'm Sailor Uranus Amara here. And today I'm going to talk about something well, so yesterday Sailor Mini Moon was talking about the hacking that occurred about one, two, one, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago. And still to this day, there are still a lot of unanswered askings that we'll never ever get the answers to. Like, how did they know how did they know what passwords we were using? I mean, there was our YouTube password at the time, and then there was our Google password. And they keep in mind these two passwords were not the same. And I am not going to say them because even though they're no longer on YouTube anymore, somewhere out there might actually, think that these passwords are still being used, but they're not. But somehow, some way, they seeked it out, and I'll never know how that happened. Now, some folks are going to say, "Well, some folks are going to say maybe they were weak." Well, if they were weak, someone could have hands-on seeked them out, and it would have taken them maybe a year and a half. I don't know. But this was back when YouTube made it where you were using your watch name and your password instead of using email and password as you now have to use now. Now, and back then, I knew about hacking, but I did not know that it had to do with the strength of your password, and I didn't really know any of this stuff. So maybe it was our mistake and our mishap for working with two words for Google and YouTube at the time. And how are we supposed to know that how are they supposed to know then in 2008 YL, that what I was using someone was going to think it out by 2010 YL. Okay? And same thing with the Google one, even though the Google one we were using was only using not as long. We're not working with it as long as the YouTube or the YouWatch one. Now, some folks are going to say, well, you left your account open. Well, first off, you left it open. Well, first off, you got to remember when you lose light, you lose everything. All right? And that also means there's no way you could get on to shut anything down or get out of anything or whatever. And even if you say you stayed in signed into something, that would stop someone from gaining entry. They would actually have to be in your house or be in your room for them to go, oh, you got this open. Let me start playing around now. So my guess was it had nothing to do with that. My guess was that there was someone on YouTube, some hacker that wanted to become name known, but they're not name known since I don't know them, and who thought, oh, I'm gonna do the Sailor Moon Red what everyone wanted to do for about a year and a half, and they really thought so. Someone thought that, really had it in. Okay, they had no life. They had no life. If they were doing this they had no life. If this was what they wanted to do, if they spent close to a year and a half trying to seek what it was, and then spending 2 whole days, 3 whole days seeking to get rid of everything that was put up there, I don't know. Don't ask me. But anyway, and then as Sailor Mini Moon put it, when we did come back, there were a lot of folks on YouTube watch at the time saying, oh, we know who did it, but really, they didn't know who did it. They had their beliefs, their beholdings who did it, and it was 2 whole day. It was one whole. Well, actually, think about it. It was close to. It was well. The storm happened on that Friday, and we didn't get our light, but we didn't get that back on until Sunday. So give or take that the hacking occurred anytime between Friday into Saturday or into Sunday. But we'll just say it happened between that time span. But anyway, beyond that, I don't know to this day why it happened, but I learned something. If it was the if it was the words we were using, well, rest assured, the one we're using now, I don't mean using, that's a Latin borrow learned, or the one we're working with now, is stronger than the two we were using back in the day, the one for YouWatch, the one for Google, So if there are any dummies out there that are, been playing around for what? How many years has this been? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 years. Well, maybe it's a little off a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It will be 6 years come this May. So yeah. So it is what it is. So that's never going to happen again. That's one thing we have running over that we can make sure it doesn't happen again. But still got to talk about from time to time, since it was a big thing that happened. Now I know there's someone out there that's going to be been playing around for 6 years. Well, let them keep on playing around if that's what they want. But anyway, it is what it is. I'm Sarah Uranus Amara. See you later.